Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first ever Hobbit Draft here on the channel. If you want my draft guide, that's already posted. I cover top commons, archetype overviews, but we're going to go pick by pick, play by play, talk through everything so you know what to do when you draft this format yourself. Our rare is, or one of our two rares, is Most Decrepit Old Bird. It's 1/1 mana for a 1/1 flyer. Threshold, as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, it gets +1/+1, and it can have the adventure, which lets you cast the adventure and then later cast the creature part. To mill 4 cards, then put an instant or sorcery from among them into your hand. This is quite good. It's going to be like 3 mana to get a 1/1 or sometimes a 2/2 flyer that drew you a spell most of the time, as long as you have enough instants and sorceries. I think that's a pretty reasonable card. I'm going to hover it for now. There is also, this is a 5 archetype set, so the multicolored cards, not that we have any in this pack, but like red-white is one of the archetypes, but the way that the multicolored decks work is if you see a red-white hybrid card, normally that can fit into a bunch of different combinations, but here it fits into red-white or into black-red or into white-blue. So it fits into the 3 of the combinations instead. Other cards of note, Quarrel is a nice green removal spell. There is Bilbo Luckwearer, which I really like as a 2/2, can't be blocked when it deals damage you loot, and you can swap some things. We're going to try out the rare, see if we can get that to work. So starting things off with the Most Decrepit Old Bird does make me want to take some instants and sorceries. There is a blue-green deck, which cares about landfall a little bit, and there is a blue-white deck, which cares about drawing multiple cards in a turn. This doesn't really fit into either of those strategies. It's just a generically good blue card, which is going to be helpful. Following that up, there are some good options here. There is Thror's Map, which I really like. You search your library for basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then you can draw a card and discard a card. So it fits nicely as a looter. It also, drawing and discarding cards can help you fill your graveyard to make your bird a little bit bigger sometimes, so that's not a huge concern. And yeah, overall, really nice mana fixing. There's also Troll Negotiations. It's a really good sorcery, puts 2 counters on something that it fights, so it could be good for a blue-green deck. Mirkwood Nurturer is quite nice as a way to like bounce your thing, so I can bounce the Decrepit Old Bird and play it again. I'm very tempted to take the Thror's Map as it's a very flexible card, and I have to say I was impressed with it at my pre-release. There's Hobbit Hole as well as a way to get some mana fixing in there. Troll Negotiation's also pretty good, but I'm going to take the colorless card because it's like guaranteed to make my deck and be pretty nice. Okay, pick 3 here. I love Bilbo Baggins Burglar. You have to be a little bit careful with this card because it's legendary. So if you get too many copies of it, you might not be able to play all of them out, but it's quite nice. 3 mana, 2/1, draw a card, scry 2 as the adventure mode, quite powerful as just a nice 2-for-1 creature. There is also another Quarrel. There is Sound the Trumpets, counter a spell, and if you counter something cheap, you get to recruit. Usually you'll want to counter something big still, but it's nice upside to have. There is Thorin Oakenshield as a red-white card. These multicolored cards you can afford to take a bit higher in the draft because there's only 5 archetypes. So normally it's like, okay, I draft this card, it only makes my deck like 1 out of 10 times. It's like the 10 archetypes. But now it's like 1 out of 5 times. So it's like twice as likely to make your deck. Though obviously you bias your picks towards the thing. So it's not exact math, but that's just kind of how it works. I think I'm just going to take the Bilbo Baggins Burglar here over a Quarrel. No reason to pick my second color yet. Leave myself open to white. I could even technically play like off-meta strategies right off the bat, like a blue-red deck or something, just to see if we can get it to work. Here in this pack, there's Owen the Brave, or Oin, depending on how you like to say it. It's a 2-drop. You can use it to rummage things away. There's also Lake Town's Toymaker, which plays well with a lot of my cards. If you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, another creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. So if I'm drawing multiple cards, like I play a Bilbo pre-combat, or I use Thor's Map, I get to use my Lake Town Toymaker to make one of my creatures giant. I don't really want to take it here, though. There's nothing crazy for me here. I could just be flexible still, take a bothersome Noisemaker or something. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you amass 1. There's also a great ugly-looking Goblin. Creatures get pleasant counters have Menace. I kind of like the Noisemaker. I think Arena agrees with me, which is kind of funny. I could just build like a blue-red control deck or something interesting. Okay, change of plans. Bard's Company is quite good, and we want to play blue anyway. You may cast it if splash if you have a human. Other creatures you control get +1/+1, so it just buffs your whole team when it enters or attacks you recruit, which means you draw and discard. So will I regret not taking... There was a random white card, I think, in that pack, but I think this card's going to be pretty nice. There is also Thrower's Map. So that's going to be pretty... what was the card that I took this thing over? It was some random white card, I think. But yeah, Bard's Company seems quite good to me. buffs your whole team, and when it enters or attacks, you recruit, which means you can draw and discard a card. If you discard a non-land, you get a 1/1. There's Uneasy Partings, which is a great blue card, and there is also Lake Town. This card's also very splashable. Not that, I mean, I would be more likely to splash red in a blue-white deck, I think. Here there is Confusticate and Bother as a counterspell that can also be a little bit of like a draw 2, discard 1 to trigger your draw synergies. There's also Uneasy Partings. I like both of those. Uneasy Partings might be a little bit better. There's also Velvet Wing Butterfly. So white is looking open. I like this card a lot too for aggressive white decks. Uneasy Partings could be pretty good as just pick up some removal. I also like this card a decent amount. Let's try the Uneasy Partings though, see how that works. I think I prioritize this a little higher because I don't want too many copies of this. Velvet Wing's also pretty nice, but I'm trying to stick to blue first and foremost. I absolutely love Plunder the Trollshaws, especially if I'm trying to build a deck that wants to recruit, because recruiting this away to get a 1/1 is pretty nice. So I'm going to take that here over the second Uneasy Partings. Blue is looking wide open here. There's also Lake Town Mariners, and also getting another instant or sorcery to go with my Most Decrepit Old Bird is nice. It's always funny to try to remember picks in retrospect, because I can't remember what I took the Noisemaker over. It wasn't a card that like super impressed me, but I think it was a white card. Gosh, that's one of those things you need to learn to kind of move past it. Uneasy Partings number 2 would also be good, but we're happy to get a Plunder the Trollshaws. Ooh, this is a card that I really want to try, so I want to talk about this card a little bit. Thranduil's Decree. Counter target spell. If a permanent spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. You may cast it without paying its mana cost for as long as it remains exiled. This is the sort of card where I think early in the format could really get some people that aren't prepared. So you watching this video hopefully will be prepared for this. Hopefully my opponents won't be. I have some other instants and sorceries though. It does not play well with Most Decrepit Old Bird though. There's also a random 3-drop I don't think is very good. There's Esgaroth Garrison, which I don't think is very good. Gandalf. But currently we could still just be that blue-red deck that plays like a control game. This card rewards me for casting. Ooh, we're just going to take Quarrel here on the wheel. Blue-green is definitely a deck we could try to play. And then we just splash white for Bard's Company. But Quarrel's fine. There's also Lakeshore Apothecary, 2-drop. When you draw your second card each turn, put a counter on it. So it works well with this, works well with this, works well with this. Could just take this card, honestly. It's probably pretty reasonable for my deck. I'd rather just take the Quarrel, though. I think it's a really good green card. And now I love seeing a Mirkwood Nurturer, just really good synergy with a lot of my cards. I can bounce Thror's Map to get another land. I can bounce Bilbo Baggins to draw another card. I can bounce Most Decrepit Old Bird. I can always just bounce like a land if I don't have a land drop to play yet. So just a nice little synergy piece for my deck. I think I don't really like Lake Town Lookout. One, it's just very low impact. Moment of Glory is a card that you can like discard for recruiting stuff to flash it back and buff your whole team. I'll just take Sound the Trumpets, though, get a counterspell into the mix. Long-bodied Grey Dog. I don't love it, but if I want to do some weird fixing thing, maybe I make it work. Sure, I'll take the Lookout over the second dog. Overall, pretty happy with the way this draft has gone. I'm definitely blue, and then I have some backup plans. I could honestly do some off-meta thing right off the bat. There is here a... in this pack, let's just go through the main base options. For blue cards, there's Master's Counselors. When you draw your second card, target player mills 3 cards, so I can mill myself to make my bird a little bit bigger, easier. Not a huge priority, though. There is also Uneasy Partings again, another nice removal spell. There's Hobbit Hole for mana fixing. There's also Elven King's Halls. So I do have a little bit of green with this Quarrel that I picked up. And I know I'm playing blue, so blue-green could be a good home. The blue-red deck, still alive, technically. If I take the Pinecone Strike, I don't really necessarily want to do that. And then blue-white, I could take Bards, to go with Bard's Company, I could take Iron Hills Blacksmith as well. That's a really good 2-drop for my deck. I think I'm going to try to avoid the blue-red deck. That was more of a speculative thing. I kind of want to take the Blacksmith. Get myself a good 2-drop. I don't really have a lot of those. I could also have taken the 1-3, but I just don't think the 1-3 is great either. Looks like we might be getting rewarded here. Celebrate the Mountain King is a very good removal spell. Enters, exile one target non-land permanent that player controls until his enchantment leaves, and then it enters, you recruit. Bilbo, I do love, but I already have one, and I probably only want 2 copies in my deck total. Maybe a little bit less, but yeah. Lake Town here. I think blue-white could work. I love Gandalf Sparkstarter. When it enters, he deals 3 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. Again, you have to be careful with playing multiple copies of legendaries, because if you draw like 2 of these, like you can't really play the second one until the first one dies, and that can be tricky. But I do like Celebrate the Mountain King here. I could have gotten the 2-drop that when I draw my second card gets a counter. I know that's the one card that I took Quarrel over, but... Okay, now this pack, there's a Velvet Wing Butterflies. I do like that card. I don't think this card's very good. When it enters you recruit, it's a star 5. So if you have a really wide board state, it could be like... I mean, it's like the fact that it's not even going to be a 5/5 a lot of the time. It's really damaging it, in my mind. I think the Butterflies is pretty good, though. You can tap 2 things and then get a flyer out of it. Especially if you're more aggressive, it's nice. My deck might be more defensive, but I still think this is fine. This card seems pretty good to me. Down to Goblin Town. You could just take a card from their hand, then you make a 1/1, and then or put a counter onto your army that you already have, and then you drain them for 2 over time. That's pretty nice. This card's pretty nice as a kill spell. We could also just try to be blue-green with this sort of card. But I think blue-white's looking fine. Vow to Erebor. Another Uneasy Parting. Or Bowside Wanderers, which I like. I think I'm just going to keep taking Uneasy Partings, though. Bowside Wanderers, totally fine. We could still be green. We only have... I mean, we did get a couple good white cards this pack. Not that we really want to play that guy. Our instants and sorcery count is looking not the highest. We have 1, 2. A couple of them are sadly counter spells. Like revealing those to the bird is not the best. Yeah, I think this draft is going pretty reasonably so far. Ooh, nice little payoff here. Bard the Bowman. When you draw your second card each turn, put a counter on a creature, it gains lifelink until end of turn. We have plenty of card draw. Ori, no, 3/3. I mean, this is a pretty easy pick for us, and then we'll just see if there's anything else we care about. We could try to splash for sure, but I don't think we have anything we really care about splashing right now. Yeah, let's just take Bard. And now we keep seeing these green cards, like Bowside Wanderers. I mean, I think we're just going to stick to our blue-white stuff. This card could be okay. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Maybe that could be useful. Creature count, decently high. There's also Moment of Glory, which if we discard it to a recruit is pretty nice. How many recruits do we have? We have 1 recruit, 2 recruit, maybe 3 recruit. Let's just take the 2-drop for now. Our 2-drop slot is a bit light. Ooh, there's a Most Decrepit Old Bird. We already have 1. Maybe build around the second one. There's Lakeshore Apothecary. There is Dwarven Short Sword. All 3 of these would be fine for my deck. The bird's pretty nice, though. Maybe it was... No, we took an Uneasy Partings over the Confusticate. There's another Bilbo. I think we'll take our second Bilbo here. I don't think we want too many counter spells. We already have 2 of them. I do think Confusticate's nice, though. Probably better than Sound the Trumpets, honestly. But Bilbo's really good. Works with all the synergies. We wield the Master's Counselors. Or we could take another Uneasy Partings. I think we want the 2-drop, though. It's going to be a 3/3 for 2 mana in our deck a lot of the time with our 2 Ravens to help us fill our graveyard. And we need 2-drops anyway. We already have 2 Uneasy Partings. Now we're going to take the land over the Lake Town Mariners. This card's pretty nice when you like exile things with enters effects. Like we can exile Bilbos, we can exile Bard's Company. It's just creatures in our land. So like this thing can reset something, but I think we want to just get the land to make our mana base better. I don't want the spatula. Let's just take the garrison. Maybe we'll make it work. I think Gandalf is a lot better than Garrison, though. It's Ward 3 makes it really hard to deal with. And then you can draw 3 with him if you need to. There's the Lookout we could still technically play. When I look back at this, the first thing I'm going to check is what I took this thing over. It's just like, it just stays in my head, as you can probably tell. I'm just like racking my brain. Okay, we get a Patient Instructor. Probably not going to play it, but maybe. Ooh, perfect. Moment of Glory last. Honestly, that makes me more likely to play the Patient Instructor. Okay, so this pack has rare is pretty good, but not our colors. Uncommon, pretty good, not our colors. The Bifur, or Bifur, as depending on how you like to say it, pretty solid card, honestly. You put a counter on a creature, and if you have the Enduring Story, then it triggers twice, so you can put 2 counters on things. Magnificent End is like the best removal spell that white gets at common. It's like the only one. And then Enchanted River's Grasp is a good blue kill spell. There's also Mirkwood Nurture. So do I need more top end? Probably not. Bifur doesn't really fit my top end anyway. It's not that hard to enable, but it doesn't really fit what I'm trying to do. This is another kill spell. This is another kill spell. I'd rather have probably the Magnificent End because I have the 2 Decrepit Old Birds. Even though I think the Enchanted River's Grasp is slightly better a lot of the time. Okay, so far so good. Hopefully we can wheel Moment of Glory if I'm really trying to go for that. There's also a Dwarven Short Sword. Another Enchanted River's Grasp. Let's just sort through our deck real quick. Cut all those. Our instant and sorcery count: 6 instants, 1 sorcery. We have a couple kill spells here. 1, 2. Oh man. I think we just need another kill spell. I would play the Dwarven Short Sword though. It does have some synergies with my deck. Oh, this is another instant or sorcery. I just need more kill spells, I think. We are the ultimate bird deck. Honestly, Bilbo's really good still, but like we just are going all in on the birds. And honestly, that makes me want Moments of Glory more because I'm going to mill some of them with my birds at some point. Thranduil's Decree. Again, we don't want too many copies of the legendaries, even though it's really good. But yeah, we're going to keep taking the birds. And now instants and sorceries go really high for us. We can take Confusticate and Bebother. We already have playables, though. We're just already cutting cards. So I could just take Hobbit Hole to make my mana a little bit better. And I can always cycle it for Bilbo Baggins. Instant and sorcery count is at 7. Getting counter spells with it is really where you don't want to be, though. Let's just make my mana a little bit better. I have so many good cards. Old Fat Spider can't see me. This is a pretty clear Plunder the Troll Shaw's angle, I think, though. It's so good with just birds or recruiting. This card's pretty solid, though. And this card, it feels expensive for what this one does. You can read it, but it's going to be a lot of reading, but I don't think it's that good. It seems fine. When your non-token creatures die, you get some value. But yeah, this is a really nice one. I love Bilbo, but like we already have 2 of them, and it is legendary. Hopefully we can wheel some Moments of Glories. Okay, my mana's perfect here with my Lake Town and my tap land, which can go get my Bilbo, which is convenient. There is a Long Lake Nuisance. Seems like it could be pretty nice for my deck. This is also a kill spell, perfect. This is also a bird, +1/+1 for each other creature I control, but I'd rather get the 4-drop version. My 3-drop slot is pretty stacked already, though I might not play this Patient Instructor. We'll see. I kind of want to try this guy, and I have room in the 4-drop slot. Okay, this 2-drop could be really good for me. This Lake Town Toymaker. Oh, that's what I did. Oh my gosh. I took the Noisemaker over the Toymaker as like my first white card. Toymaker would have been way better in this deck. I could still take one here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 2-drops, but I'm also going to be casting these on turn 2 a lot of the time. Let's take the Toymaker, see if we can get it to work. Seems good with all my flyers. Would I rather take the Dwarven Provisioner or another land to make my mana base more consistent? Or a Long Town Lake Nuisance? I have so many playables. Like, I'm not going to concern myself about making playables here. I'm just going to take my little 2-drop here. I feel like I'll be fine. I'll take an extra land to make my mana more consistent. Okay, now I get a Mirkwood Nurturer. Seems fine to me. I'll take Moment of Glory over the Eagle. Moment of Glory, again, works really well with the bird. I think that I'm going to be able to loot it away as well, to some degree. Creature count, 19. Yeah, I have plenty of creatures. I do get a 3rd Bilbo. We'll have to put it to the test whether we want it. I don't think I want a 2nd Thranduil's. Lake Town, Lookout. Don't really want to play that. 4th Bilbo. Well, I don't think I'm playing all 4. That's for sure. Though it is quite nice. I have 3 of the bird, which is kind of funny. But yeah, we will have to see how this ends up working. But I don't know if I need I think Hobbit Hole is fine still. But yeah, my mana is really consistent here. I have plenty of blue. I'm going to put more blue, less white. So how do I want to make my cuts here? I don't love Elven King's Harper. Let's just move all the cards that I'm not sure on. I don't love this card. How many instants and sorceries do I have? 7 instants, 2 sorceries. So with the birds, I really want to have as many of them as possible because milling 4 is like 10% of my deck. So if 10% of my deck is instants and sorceries, then I might hit one a decent percentage. I forget exactly how the math works. It's pretty reasonable. I could consider cutting any of these cards. Could consider cutting this. I'm going to cut some Bilbo Baggins for sure. Removal seems pretty good. I don't know if I need Sound the Trumpets. But again, I do want to keep my instants and sorceries. Mirkwood Nurturer seems really good with a lot of my cards. Patient Instructor could go. I do want to try the Toymaker. Esgaroth Garrison doesn't seem the best to me. Maybe Gandalf can go. My deck does have 20 creatures, so I think I'm going to start cut Esgaroth Garrison. I think this card's pretty solid. I'm going to cut 1 Bilbo. We'll try, let's try 2 for now. Cut the Harper. I don't love it. Cut the Sound the Trumpets. I'm going to try the Moments of Glory to see if I can recruit them away. So I'm going to keep in my like long lake nuisances and my other cards that recruit stuff. I'm going to cut Gandalf. This buffs humans, right? How many humans do I have in this version? Humans. I have 5 humans plus a few recruiters. Thror's map seems pretty good with some of my like draw 2 synergies, but maybe I don't need it. I'm going to cut a land, actually. Yeah, so I have, this has 8 instants and sorcerers, which is probably the amount I want with the most decrepit old birds. The counselor seems pretty good, so my 2-drop slot's pretty nice. So this is 13, 14, 15, 16 lands plus a Thror's map. I could cut a Mirkwood Nurturer. Maybe I just cut both of those, honestly. It does seem good in my deck, but I have plenty of value, I feel like. So now my deck curve is really low, 13, 15, 16. This can often cycle to go get a Bilbo. I'm excited to try Thranduil's Decree. I might end up cutting it, but we have so many things to try out, so much to get to. Let's dive on in. And as we get into our very first match of The Hobbit, I would like to shout out the NicolaiBolas Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you're enjoying my videos and you'd like to support my mission to make draft accessible for people of all skill levels while gaining access to cool bonuses like my card-by-card tier list and For My Thoughts document, Patreon's the place to go. And special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It makes a tremendous difference. Okie doke, round 1 here. We will keep this hand. We have our most decrepit old bird. Do we want to just play it as a 1/1? Probably not. I think we'll try to get some value. So we're going to lead with the bird because we already have our 3rd land. Then we can play the bard. And then we can, when we draw our next card, we can get the plunder going. So let's play the adventure here. Beautiful. Value achieved already. On the nick of time. We're playing the blue-white mirror. Okay. This is why I want to have as many blue sources as possible. But it's okay. So we'll see if they have an answer. They could very easily. There is the Confusticate and the Bother in this format. There's also the card that deals damage to tapped creatures. I'm considering going Toymaker plus Bird next turn. But I think we'll just play the Toymaker now. Because if I draw an island, I can do that as well. And I think they could have Confusticate and the Bother. I definitely don't want to get my creatures tapped because I don't want them to be able to deal 5 to them right now. I'm not trying to play around too much. They took turn 3 off in a hand that they kept, though. And there's tons of 3-drops in this format, so there we go. Let's see what we're working with first. Do I want to put the counter onto the bird? So they have 4 mana up now. I think I do want to put the counter onto the bird. It's my least important card right now. They're doing nothing right now. I think we're just going to let them stew in their own vibes here. I'm very worried about them having deal 5 to a tapped creature. I could also be playing this way too conservatively. There's not really board sweepers in this format in blue-white, so I'm not worried about that front. Once they tap out, I'll be able to hit them for a bunch of damage. First things first, we are going to, I think, let them use their kill spell on my bird, maybe. Okay. Let's just do this now. We have plenty of, we want to cast our user mana anyway, and this way we get a +1/+1 on our bird. So they did have the moment of Magnificent End playing around that I think actually gave us a lot of benefit there, which was nice. Sure. Like, we've almost got them dead here. And then we get to recruit away our moment of glory. That could we have killed them? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could have put them to 1, which I don't think is functionally different from this. Definitely play this thing first. And then scry too. Otherwise I'd shuffle away my scry. Don't want an extra land right here, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This costs 8. Yeah, I don't want either of those. Actually, no, I should have, because I can play Bilbo and then play this. I was like, I don't have a way to draw a card for cheap. They're at 2. Oh, Glory can buff my whole team. I think we played this pretty well, honestly. We were willing to be patient against what they could have. They clearly didn't have a counterspell. They clearly didn't have a lot of things, and that card made a lot of sense for them to have. This is where knowing the set makes a big difference. They're holding up 3 mana, but we can outplay that. All of our creatures will be lethal after all. So we're going to play this so that our thing will trigger and we can buff the soldier. So what could they have? They could have, in white, there's a combat trick that gives +2/+2. There's also one that kills a creature with power 4 or greater, but that's fine. We can handle this. There's not a bounce spell we have to worry about here. Let's do this. This gives us the most power spread across as many bodies as possible. Okay, they tap down that. That's fine. So they're still in the game. But I'm glad we put the counter onto the 1/1. I guess it would have gotten a counter regardless. Bang, got the win. First game of the format under our belts, and it's a win. Let's go. Oh, that's very exciting stuff. Feels good. Let's try to keep the good times rolling, as they say. I think our deck is built pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with it. I liked the bird, that's for sure. I think it was smart to be patient there in that game. We could have been more aggressive, but then they would have been able to deploy their cards, and they held up their kill spell over and over and over, and we just got them good. I think sometimes I can get too fancy with that. That's definitely something to be careful about. Like, but it's so nice to be vindicated. Like, they were doing nothing. Like, what do they have in their hand if they have doing nothing? Easy keep here. So our moment of glory can get looted away to our recruits at some point. We are going to go get a island. As you saw, islands are pretty important to us. There's not a 2-mana counterspell in this format, so you don't have to worry about it. The counterspell is the Confusticate Bother that costs 3 mana. That's when you need to start worrying about counters. Playing against a blue-green. I feel like removal spells for big creatures are going to be good against blue-green. Yep, we will just go with this, I think. Buff himself. Swing in for 2. We could have scryed and then used Thror's Map to really try to hit a land. But at that point, it just seems a bit too conservative of a play. And getting the counter on Bard protects him from Quarrel, which is important. This card, you do not want to cast the normal mode of this card. You definitely want to be casting the Moment of Glory. Like, from the flashback, pretty much exclusively. Sylvan Reveler, sure. Great card. Beautiful. Okay, we are going to celebrate you, the Mountain King, and exile this Sylvan Reveler, because they will come back over and over otherwise. We will discard our Moment of Glory, because we do not want to deal with that. And we will put the counter onto Bilbo this time, I think. Actually, Bilbo's a really good trade with this guy. Let's just keep buffing our guy. Our main man, Bard. Perfect. They made the trade with Bilbo anyway. I mean, that's a trade that would be very good for us. We are on the front foot, so we do want to deal damage. We'll see if we can get Thranduil's Decree to work at some point. We're getting to the point of the game where we can start holding up instants fairly consistently, maybe. I'm feeling a little bit worried about having all my eggs in the Bard the Bowman basket. I think had we put the counter on Bilbo, they would have made the trade. I feel pretty good about exiling this thing too. I wanted to answer it, and I did not want to give them another trigger with it by using Uneasy Partings. My turn could look something like use bird, use Thror's Map, play bird if I have an island to spare. Thranduil. Okay, they're casting that spell. They get 2 land cards. That's pretty good. Okay. They didn't play that. Okay, they have 3 mana up. They could have Confusticate and Bother. This thing could be cast at some point, but I think for now we will. I kind of want to just play my 2 guys out and then really put the pressure on them. How aggressive do I want to be? So they're at 13. I don't think I can kill them in the near future. They're going to start playing this and make an army on the ground. So I think getting my bird out is really nice here. Beautiful. We got that done. Play this. Play the bird. Activate this so that my bard will trigger. Discard Moment of Glory, I think. So green's combat trick gives +1/+1. There's also a 3/2 flash creature. Let's just attack like this. I'm playing too scared, I think. But I feel like I'm in a really good position. Like, if they had a 3/2 flash creature, which they clearly don't because they didn't do it that turn, they would have definitely cast it. I mean, I missed out on 3 points of damage. There's not a combat trick they could have had that would really punish that. They don't have the counter spell, or they would have countered something there. They don't have anything to do with the 3 mana, or they would have cast something. I feel like I just am applying pressure slowly here, and now I have 2 moments of glory in the graveyard to just potentially do some stuff. Okay. This Hobbit hole is really good because it's going to buff my bird now. Which means I do want to do this now. And now they can't even have the bear. Okay, uneasy partings, that's what it was. Okay. I will leave that on top. Interesting. So I could have played around. I literally have that card in my hand. Interesting that that was the line. And because I attacked with a token and Bilbo that they didn't want to put on top of my deck again. Old fat spider, sure. Time to start building out my board state here, I think. Or do I just play it conservatively and try to use my Thranduil's Decree? I don't think so. I think I just do this now. Let's buff up this guy because now he won't trade with the 1/1. I could also just work on buffing up my flyer. They have 19 cards in their deck, so this thing's actually kind of a real clock on their pad there. I know I could uneasy partings this at some point. So Thranduil's Decree would have been really good to hold up, I guess. But next turn it's going to be less suspicious when I hold up my mana. Is the hope, at least. Oh, that's bad for me. They can just do that with Bowside Wanderers over and over. This could go quite poorly. Playing conservatively can be costly. Hopefully this works out. Oh, yes, it will work out. I don't have any land drops right now, but that's okay. They're getting infinite value right now, but this thing can help mill them out at some point. Okay, let's see. If I play this, and then I draw a couple cards, I could go this guy, and then if I hit a land, then my most decrepit old bird can attack. Let's play this first, actually. No, I want to play this thing, because I want to make sure I hit lands if I can. I'm going to buff up the bird. Play this, buff up the bird again. Play this. What you gonna do? They go to 1. Wow. They just go to 1 like that. My Velvet Wing Butterflies is loving that. Okay. They have plenty of gas in the tank. No, they do not. Clearly, whenever you're just trying to pressure them, you love it when they do that to start their turn. Wood Elves, okay. Any blocker is golden for them here. Okay. So they have plenty of blockers, maybe. Potentially. We can get rid of 1, 2, 3 blockers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers. I have 5 attackers. They only have 9 cards left, so I could also mill them out here, potentially. Let's just go for the easy win, though. First things first. +2/+2 in vigilance. Let's just do this. And I know that they will get to draw a card here. But yeah, they don't have a reach creature. They don't have an answer to my 5/5. I was just trying to play around a second uneasy partings. Easy win. Is that just our second win? Was that just our second game with this deck? It feels like it was a long one. But like, oh my gosh. We were cruising there. The bird. This deck is sweet. We're humming along. Beautiful. It's delightful. I'm having a blast. I will say, I tend to have a blast in my early drafts of formats regardless. But this feels pretty fun. It's nice that I felt like I was able to play around what my opponents had in the first game. And then the second game, I was like, oh, this is the card they had. Because I was still kind of confused. So like, what do they have for 3 mana if they're holding up? And then I played around it, kind of. And I didn't play around it the second time because I was accusing myself of being a coward. But then it was like they did have something. And maybe I could have played it a little bit better. So always room for improvement here. Great hand here. We need to draw one of our 3-drops at some point, but our old bird can be a 3-drop as well. So we basically have infinite of them. Masters, Counselors. And we do have a human, so it will be cast with Flash here. Big spell. Not quite. Red and black. Black's combat trick. What is it? Red's combat trick is +3/+0. If they cast that, good on them. It's not that big of a deal for me. Black has +2/+2 for 3 mana, so I think it's a fairly safe attack. And we are still currently looking for, we have drawn badly here. We haven't drawn our 4th land to cast any of our spells, and we have not drawn a 3-drop. So kind of unhappy with how the draw has panned out, but we'll be fine. Yeah, and this card is miserably bad against our entire deck, and it happened to be really good there because we whiffed on our draw, but that's okay. Okay, land me. Again, just kind of unfortunate the way this ordering has gone. But this at least lines up well with the Dwarven Mauler. It's a suspicious attack, but we'll still make the block. If they have a combat trick like +2/+2, we're fine. Okay, that's not great for us. Hate to see it. I guess I technically should have waited, but we are going to get rid of this thing ASAP. And Bard's Company can be flashed in to make our 2/2 trade with their 2/2, which could be useful. Especially if we're holding up our Thranduil's Decree. So next time they're going to cast this for sure, almost. Honestly, I'm okay just flashing this in mid-combat, getting a recruit trigger out. Because then I'll have 2 humans. They could easily have an answer to this is the problem. That's why I'm a little bit nervous about doing this. Because like 1 kill spell, and there's so many ones to get me. The black kill spell. Looks like they're playing a black-white deck. It's kind of a weird deck. I don't really get it. Like if I flash my guy in, loot something away, get a 1/1, make 2 blocks, it feels really good. But then if they... the Toy Maker for now, and I can use the Nuisance to get rid of this extra land. I'm just going to do this. I think I'm behind enough at it, what I need to do. Okay. And also they didn't show any response to the Bard's Company. And if they use a red kill spell to kill this, they can't use the Tidings of War then, which is nice too. No. We'll be patient. Sure. Nice. Dwarf for equipment. They whiffed. Okay. They're going to get some serious mana here. I think I'm just going to try to Thranduil's Decree them here. They might be stuck on red mana, and they try to cast something big. Sure. 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 Not the end of the world to me. Not at all. Okay, perfect. I'm glad I waited with my patient instructor. I will buff this guy, and then I will attack them with 4 lifelink. Okay. Sure. This is a pretty easy block with the instructor on the dory. They could have a combat trick, but that's not the end of the world. And my long lake nuisance will take over the game, maybe. Do they need the land? No, they do not. Okay, Thrower's Map. Then we will loot. Discard this. Buff up our... we could buff up this and trade. I don't think we want to, though. Let's buff up our Bard. Maybe we could have buffed this guy. Combat. We'll gain 2 life. Play this. Play our Iron Hills Blacksmith. Yeah, we probably should try to buff up the Iron Hills Blacksmith. But it can already attack pretty well next turn. We can start holding up Thranduil's Decree as well, because we can also just use Lake Town. No, only at sorcery speed. I feel like in this spot, I'm feeling pretty good because I have so many draw spells in my deck. And I have a counter spell in my hand. Like 6, 7, okay. Ditch that. Buff up the Blacksmith. Buff up the Blacksmith. Hit them for 6 lifelink. I am at the point where I almost just want to start holding up my counterspell because I'm feeling very far ahead. Do they have a deal 3 or something? That's what they had, okay. I almost, yeah, that's a bummer. That could be game losing for sure. Sure. I definitely messed that up in that case. I wasn't thinking about Gandalf. Gandalf. I think I'd rather loot than deal 5. Maybe that's wrong though. Yeah, blocking with Dane was really low upside and really game losing potentially. Oh my gosh. Oh man, not good. Not my best moment. It's okay, we're still fine. They move it over, attack me, move it back. Perfect. That's a good draw. Let's just do everything at instant speed now. Let's just be careful. I can just use Thranduil's Decree on the end step. I can uneasy partings this, get my 2 attacks in like that. And this way, if they draw something scary, I have some built-in answers, which is nice. I forgot about Gandalf, that's for sure. Okay. What are they gonna do? Oh. Hello. I think I will take a 5/5 flyer for 0 mana. That does sound good to me. I know it might seem crazy, but it does seem good to me. They have a couple artifacts, so I'm gonna get some treasures. Seems pretty good. So far, Thranduil's Decree, undefeated, just crushing people. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay, I messed up the block with Bard. I don't think I can lose that game if I just keep Bard around. I was just trying to be fancy. Like, what could they, like, instead of being like, what could they possibly have? Like, I think I had to get wrecked by Gandalf once before I'm like, okay, that's what they could have. Because I was thinking about the cards in the set. I was thinking, oh, they're going to post-combat deal 3 to my guy, which also probably means I shouldn't block. Or they're gonna like give their guy +2/+2 in lifelink or something like that. Again, a reason not to block. There's like 5 cards and there's +3/+0 and first strike. Again, a reason not to block. But I was like, I don't want to just take 3 damage for nothing. And then I took 3 damage for everything. It was not good. Okay, round 4. Let's bounce back after that. I mean, obviously didn't really need to bounce back because we won, but you still can make better plays. Okay, this is a great hand. Keep this bad boy. Bard has been incredible. Yep, we're going to just do it like this still. Try to get our Bard down before we play our Bilbo. We will plunder the Troll Shells on turn 2, though. Blue-green, okay. Change of plans. We are going to play our counselors. This thing gets buffed when they play lands, so we can't really block it with counselors. But Bilbo can block it. We can block the Patient Instructor at least. That's nice. Okay. And the more they fill the graveyard, the better this guy gets. We are just going to play the Bard still. If they don't kill it, I mean, they could kill it with Quarrel, which is a pretty... There's a couple of cards that could kill it. Enchanted River's Grasp functionally kills it. Oh, they're missing lands. That's huge for me. So I want to just get this trigger as many times as possible. Let's just go for the classic Bilbo play. Scry. I don't think we need to draw the Moment of Glory right now. I do think the Long Lake Nuisance is going to be great, though. It's a flyer that I can put Bard counters onto once I deal with the Addercop. I don't really want the Moment of Glory, though. Though it is a free roll, kind of. Because next turn I'm going to... No, I want to hit my lands. Okay, so we'll do this. Okay. Oh, I was going to mill myself. Duh, that's why it was a free roll. Whoops-a-daisies. Mill myself for sure. And yeah, so I should have kept that card on top. I knew there was a reason for it. It's like, I was thinking about it. I forgot about the lake guy. I was thinking I was going to loot it away to this. I will put the counter onto Bilbo Baggins so it no longer trades with this 1/1 maybe. Okay, so I hit a Moment of Glory. It would have been better to hit 2 Moments of Glory, of course. Next turn, Most Decrepit Old Bird is going to do some stuff. Or Long Lake Nuisance is going to come out. Okay, they hit their lands. That's fine. Adder cop, adder cop. They can kill Bard. That happens. Such is life. Okay. Lose all abilities. That's perfect for me. Let's see if this changes anything. Whiff, sadly. I do get to mill someone for 3. I don't know if I want to mill myself for 3 here, but probably worthwhile. I have a second one of these. This is also a perfect card to discard to the Longshore Nuisance, though. Sylvan Reveler's pretty good. I'm glad I didn't mill them. They didn't have any lands in hand a second ago, though. I guess they drew one. Good for them. Alright, punished for this play, but... Exile the Reveler again, the way I did last time. Make a 1/1. I've drawn all my flashback cards. But they could still have some. Okay. I could mill them out if this thing didn't die, but I'm fairly confident they can just kill this and it becomes an issue. But maybe I want to force them to kill it. I just don't want to hit their plunder, the Troll Shaws. Bjorn. Another Adder Cop, sure. I think making more 1/1s is good because I'm going to buff everything up. Now this guy can trade with Bjorn straight up. I'll trade this for an Adder Cop. They don't want to make the trade. Interesting. Ordinary Bear, sure. They can make some trades if they'd like. Seems pretty decent to me here. My life total's at 17. I don't think I care. Okay. What an unfortunate scenario on how my cards have lined up here. It's funny because I know the bottom card of my deck is this Moment of Glory. I'll just keep my 2/2 flyer. So we could still win this for sure. That does not help my case, that's for sure. I wish this was just a normal land here. I still have deal 5 in here somewhere, right? Please attack me. I'm begging you. Okay, I have deal 5. I have Magnificent End. Some good cards in here. Beautiful. So let's play this smart. Clear that guy out. Attack them for 6. Play this. Play our bird. Now they have Bilbo plus whatever scries. And we know our last 3 cards have the deal 5 and the card that can buff our whole team or just our bird. All we need to do is buff the bird. And we can easily win. Okay. Bowside Wanderers. Okay. So they're super dead. Yep, they are super duper dead. Because all of our creatures are going to be 3/3s. Bang. Got the win. I mean, they can block our 2 biggest guys and they still take 6. Let's go. We managed to win that one. That was a tricky game too. The games are pretty interesting. I need to tighten up my gameplay. I mean, it's so hard to make the gameplay decisions. Deciding to mill them or not to mill them. I think milling them would have been correct a lot of the time. There was the one turn where I could have easily gotten an extra copy of the put a counter on my whole team into my graveyard, and I didn't. That would have been a good one to potentially think about a second longer. But the Master's Counselors is a card that I wasn't even factoring into that decision. I just need to... And then so far, yeah, there's been a couple misplays, a couple maybe missed opportunities. The card that goes +3/+0 in first strike is way better than I thought it would be. Just so easy to draw 2 cards. We're going to keep this. And we will start by going with Lake Town. Most decrepit old bird. Beautiful. Hitting a spell is always good with this guy. Get the bird down. Bird is the word. We will play our tap land here. I know it can technically go search up a Bilbo. But I think we'll be fine on our spell count here. They're getting some value. Nice. I like it. My opponent is in the same mindset as I am. I'm gonna go get another plains here because I have 2 islands in my hand already. This Thror's map is going to be great. Just going to be truly excellent here. Triggering this every turn so I can hit them for bajillion damage. I think this card's just bad, though. Old Fat Spider can't see me. No! They're giving something hexproof and they're going to prevent all the damage from my guy. Okay. Thror's map. Can you go search up another island? Activate it. Honestly, this is the time when I could get rid of lands, because with my recruit stuff, I want to get rid of my spells so I can get creatures. So I'm going to get rid of land here. Next turn, I think I'm going to use Celebrate the Mountain King on this and discard my Moment of Glory. What? No, dealt buy up to 1 target creature. Oh, they exchanged it. That's not very nice. Huh, that's funny. Clever, clever. I would like to draw this guy again, and I don't want them to have it. Would I benefit more from using Celebrate the Mountain King this turn, though? No, they're going to hit me for 1,000,000 damage. Bilbo, Bilbo, Bilbo. I would like to draw it. I'm going to buff my guy, because now it's buffed twice. Yeah, they were going to hit me for so much damage with this thing. I don't love casting this, I will admit, but the fact that it's +2/+2 for 1 mana makes it a little bit better. Okay, perfect. So I could just deal 5 to this. That's probably good. Could also do this. Could do this and this. Let's just do 5 to this now. We are putting some pressure on them here. They've drawn a lot of cards, but they're still stuck on lands too. And at some point we go this plus this, we just are in really good shape. I don't want to let them recruit here, because they'll get a 1/1 out of the deal. Almost certainly. Because they have all these cards in hand. Okay, they're scrying with the Bilbo. So they put you to the bottom, so they don't have a land on top, I guess. I guess getting rid of my land was very greedy with my card. Bilbo Luckwearer, sure. Okay, perfect. Play this, play this. Play this. We will let our bird do the talking. They could potentially kill me here. They draw a second card. This thing becomes a 5/3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's kind of close. They have to have an answer to my... They have 5 cards in hand, so they probably have an answer to my bird. But if they don't, we got him. That's an encouraging start for me, honestly. Master's Counselor's triggers now. They have a pretty good deck. They mill me for 3. Make Master's Counselor a little bigger. Oh, Celebrate the Mountain King. Okay. Sure. Eagle's Rescue could be bad for me. Could be very bad. Could be very, very, very bad. Oh, no. Well, that's a good draw. So they don't need flyers. Let's see. I really don't want them to have that. I really don't want them to have this either. This could be dicey. They have 2 cards in hand still. This thing's scary. They can only touch something with power 1. So this. They can make something a big flyer. So what are my chances? This thing can instant or sorcery from their graveyard. Their only instants and sorceries are card draw spells, which they want to cast anyway. But the 1 mana draw 2 is pretty good for them. I want to play this and this on the same turn, so I have 2 alternative win cons. I think I can just survive. I can just chump block. I'm going to be casting this anyway, so I might as well mill first. Whiff. Such is life. No attacks. Okay. I think I can survive this, and I think that if they don't have another kill spell, I'm going to win, because I can just buff up my birds. Yeah, right. Discarding this thing made a lot of sense anyway, because I could have just discarded this because I want to cast this on the turn at some point. Okay, that's fine. They mill me for 3. I don't think they can kill me with mill. They can come somewhat close. I have 2 lethal flyers for next turn. Okay. This has felt really good. I almost used this to get rid of their one of these, but that seemed less effective. Bang! I was going to use my Moment of Glory and then loot so that I could trigger it and make my flyers even bigger. Boom! Got the win. Oh my gosh, this has been so sweet. Holy heck. Oh my gosh, we are cruising. I feel like we've been playing pretty well. The old bird, the decrepit old bird. The decrepit old bird. Everyone's afraid. We're 5-0. I like it. I mean, our deck does have loads of rares and kind of everything we want. Honestly, the flashback white common, surprisingly effective. I was like, am I ever going to want this card? And it's been pretty good when it's like a buff your whole team that you kind of get into your graveyard for free because of all your recruit synergies. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Pretty pleased indeed. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, nice. We will keep this for sure. The question is, do we want to use the bird right away? I think we will just use Bilbo's Scry to help sure we hit land drops. Perfect. Some land drops a coming. We want to draw... It doesn't matter which order we draw. We want to draw both of those. We'll play turn 2 Iron Hills Blacksmith. Start applying a little bit of pressure probably. And then turn 3 we can go activate... We can play Bilbo or something. Or we can use Bird. I think using Bird also makes a lot of sense, depending on what they do on their turn. They're playing red-white. This is my first time playing against red-white here, I think. Okay. We don't mind trading the dwarves for each other. Though Bard's Company is going to make it a lot better for me if I do this. So I can attack, see what they do. Bard's Company is going to be really nice, though. I don't want to use Plunder the Troll Shots because I want to discard that to Bard's Company. We'll do this. The old Whiffaroony, sadly. I think we can afford to be patient here, honestly. Sure. They also think waiting benefits them. That's interesting. Do I want... I think I kind of do want to just play the Bard's Company and then hit them for 2, 4... It won't have flash, but it's still pretty good. They can double block with their guys, but I'm adding a lot of pressure here. I can go Thrower's Map into Bilbo Baggins. This bird is going to get bigger at some point. Whiffing with bird always feels bad, though, I must admit. I must admit, it feels no bueno. Okay, so they're holding up mana. They probably have... Ooh, that's good. How do I want to do this? Probably... They probably have a kill spell for the Bard's Company, if I had to guess. So this will at least buff my bird up. Double whiff. Jeez Louise. That's horrific. Sure. I know this attacks and recruits, but I don't really want to recruit. Magnificent End, sure. I can't believe we whiffed twice. So they have a deal 3 for Bard's Company? Oh no, they have just indestructible for their guy. Okay, sure. So they've used a couple of answers here. We're still on the front foot for sure. We could have gotten 2 more cards in our hand, which is partly a problem. But even just 1 card extra would be nice. We have plenty of card draw here, though, so that's not a big deal right now. Sure. That's pretty good. 3, 4, 5, 6. Next turn we can use this and then flash it back. Or we can just cast it and flash it back if we want to. Nori, Teller of Tales, sure. Bang. Got the win. I was playing that very scared to some degree. I mean, if I had attacked with my Bard's Company, they would have killed it that one turn. We saw they had the deal 5 to a tap creature. It might have been better to wait on that. But yeah, we're 6-0. Let's see if we can complete the perfect run with our most decrepit old birds. Oh, come on, deck. Come on, Nikolai. Play well. Let's focus up. We even whiffed with the bird, and it was still just a 1-mana 2/2. I mean, it was kind of a 3-mana 2/2. We were investing a lot of mana in that puppy and getting some damage in Bard's Company, getting some nice attacks in. I'm glad we saved the dwarf because double strike on a 1/1. When you buff its power and toughness, it's like extra effective with your double strikers. But this has been pretty fun. I think the format has been nice, obviously limited sample size, but I had fun at my pre-release as well, playing a completely different color combination. I played black-red at my pre-release, splashing a couple white cards. So that's like very far from just playing a blue-white deck, and I had fun with that as well. So, so far, early days, good sign. And we are hopefully going to complete the world's first undefeated run of The Hobbit. But obviously, it's just about playing well, focusing up, doing your best. So we're on the draw, relatively slow hand. None of our crazy payoffs, no birds yet, but definitely a keep. Our deck is very consistent, which I like. Let's get some scrying going, see what we find. Don't want that. Do I want the second Bilbo? Probably not. Won't be able to play it. I'd rather get a card that I can actually play, and I'm going to shuffle it in at some point here. So it's really just about one draw step. Atracop. Sure. I'm going to go search up another island here. I don't mind shuffling in another Bilbo. Okay, so they're on the front foot here, but this card lines up really well with this guy. And Magnificent End can really help me come back from behind. That's another card that can help me come back from behind. And they've only played green so far. Okay, green-black. I think this is my first time playing against green-black, too. Desolation Prowler, sure. I am slightly concerned about them having the green combat trick. Oh, that's not good. So they just have +1/+1. Yep. This is not looking great for our hero. I guess I could have blocked the other way. Not that I think it really mattered. Playing a 1/1 doesn't do much here. I'm gonna dig for my three mana. Get rid of something. Perfect. Gonna get rid of this thing now. Because that thing could also be a 4-power creature pretty easily. So it can hit me for 7 here. Ravening Warg. Sorry. I messed up. Maybe, I don't know. This is so tough. All I need to have is one answer, and I'm toasted here, but... the world's first undefeated run could have come to an end. I mean, they had, like, the perfect hand on the play, and I had a very slow draw, but... We'll see if we can come back still. Wood Elves. That's certainly not it. Honestly, the Trample's scarier here than the Death Touch. Here comes Bilbo. And the bird. Oh, man, it's so tricky. They didn't have a kill spell last turn. I mean, now I have good blocks. It's all coming down to this turn. Okay. We're cruising. Oh, that's such a good draw. For the future, though. Bummer. Not much I could have done about that, though. Ooh, that's a really good draw, actually. Oh, man. Because then I can get rid of this annoying Bjorn. Graveyard's full enough, that's for sure. Their graveyard has 4 cards. That'll bring it up to 7. I'm almost there. They can't really attack with this unless they have a combat trick of some kind. Oh, shoot. I can't block that. Oops. I did not realize that. I'm so bad. Oh, man. Oh my gosh, what a rip. So I can gain 4. Okay, I think I may have messed this game up a little bit, but I'm also drawing like a legend right now, so I'm still alive. So next turn I can attack through the old fat spider. Sure, I don't care about that at all. Okay, and then I can tap or something. Maybe I don't have to do it this way. I don't have to be quite as aggressive. I could go tap. No, we'll tap on their turn maybe. I could buff my whole team again. If I go tap, I get a draw card. I don't really want them to draw a card here. Buff my whole team again. The seal's pretty safe. They've just drawn all lands down the stretch here, which is really good for me. Dang! The world's first 7-0! Oh my gosh, from the brink of death. The combination of Bard and Bard's Company. We are barding it up with our most decrepit old birds. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Absolutely legendary. It's funny because I've reread The Hobbit to prepare for this set for like the 7th time. And like when they described the most decrepit old bird, I was like, oh my gosh, the old raven that was the son of the raven that was alive during the Misty Mountains. Oh my gosh, what a comeback win. I mean, they drew so many lands down the stretch, but we got the win. That was absolutely fantastic. Let's go. Oh my gosh. World's first Hobbit undefeated run. Gotta be. That was my first draft, and I drafted like pretty much as soon as it came out. Oh my gosh. This deck had it all. We had 3 copies of the most decrepit old bird. We had perfect mana. We had Bard's Company, which was so clutch that game. We had Bard, which was unbelievable every time we drew it. Moment of Glory, sleeper good in that draft. Thranduil's Decree a couple times. We got to take a Smog with this. Smaug, which was awesome. We had a couple of Bilbo's Bagginses. I think the 2 ended up being a good number, honestly. I think built the deck well. The Toymaker, we did miss out on 1 copy, but we got the 2nd one and it was great. The Blacksmith was good that one game. Mountain King was great. Overall, if you made it to the end of this video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag perfect old bird in the comment section down below, because the most decrepit old bird also goes undefeated. So hashtag perfect old bird to let me know you made it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.